Have you ever wondered why the moon looks different depending on where you are in the world? If you've traveled from the Northern Hemisphere to the Southern Hemisphere, you may have noticed something fascinating. The moon appears to be flipped upside down. But why does this happen? The moon itself doesn't change. It's the perspective that shifts. Imagine standing on opposite sides of the Earth. In the Northern Hemisphere, you look south to see the moon, and in the Southern Hemisphere, you look north. Both observers are looking at the same moon but from completely opposite directions. As a result, the image appears flipped or rotated. This means that the familiar man in the moon face that many people see in the Northern Hemisphere might look more like a rabbit when viewed from the Southern Hemisphere. Now, let's break it down further. If the moon's orbit were aligned perfectly with the Earth's equator, the equator would act like a dividing line. In the Northern Hemisphere, the moon would always be visible in the southern sky, and in the Southern Hemisphere, you'd see it in the northern sky. Because these observers are essentially standing upside down relative to each other, their views are naturally inverted. This perspective flip also explains why the moon's phases waxing and waning appear reversed. In the Northern Hemisphere, the moon waxes from right to left, while in the Southern Hemisphere, it waxes from left to right. This change in orientation has even influenced how people across the world interpret the moon. In many cultures, the shapes on the moon's surface are seen as a rabbit rather than a man. For example, in East Asian folklore, the moon is home to a rabbit pounding mochi, a sticky rice cake. When viewed from the Southern Hemisphere, this rabbit seems to sit up straighter, adding a new dimension to the story. So, what can we take away from this? The moon is a perfect example of how perspective changes everything. It's the same celestial body for everyone on Earth, yet how we see it depends entirely on where we stand. If you ever find yourself in the Southern Hemisphere, take a moment to marvel at how the moon seems to flip. It's a small but fascinating reminder of the vastness of our planet and the wonders of our night sky. The next time you gaze at the moon, think about how someone on the other side of the world might see it, and remember, no matter where you are, the moon is always there to connect us all.